History doesn't remember blood, it remembers names. Today, history has chosen to remember the name of Rhaenyra Targaryen and how she went out in the famous House of Dragons. This is an official spoiler alert if you haven't seen the series. The fact that the events in House of the Dragon occur hundreds of years before those of Game of Thrones makes the entire show essentially a huge spoiler. That is to say, everything including Rhaenyra Targaryen's death has already been foretold. Before we begin to explore how Rhaenyra Targaryen died in House of the Dragon, kindly subscribe to this channel to stay updated on all our uploads. Let the adventure begin. On House of the Dragon, Rhaenyra Targaryen has emerged as a fast-rising contender for the role of the audience's favorite character. Rhaenyra, born to King Varys I Targaryen, and Aemma Arryn, was proclaimed her father's heir at a young age. This decision was met with opposition from all parties involved. The first season of HOTD concludes with Rhaenyra on the verge of waging war against those who seek to usurp her birthright, not forgetting that Rhaenyra is also the daughter of Aemma Arryn. That conflict was going to be resolved over the subsequent few seasons. However, if you are curious about what will become of Rhaenyra, you won't have to hold your breath for long. The novel Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, on which the television show House of the Dragon is based, details the events that take place. The Dance of the Dragons will go down as one of the bloodiest conflicts in Westeros' history, and the fantasy series House of the Dragon is gearing up for it. This civil war resulted in the extinction of the dragons, diminished the influence held by the Targaryen family over Westeros, and in the end, paved the way for Robert's rebellion. On one side is Aegon II Targaryen and his party, the Greens, and on the other we have Rhaenyra Targaryen. However, only one can emerge victorious from this conflict over who sits in the chair considered the most uncomfortable of all of the Seven Kingdoms. So who comes out on top? Honestly, neither one of them won. Having said that, Aegon II is successful in plotting the murder of his half-sister. So how does Rhaenyra Targaryen die? To put it simply, this is not a happy tale. It is common knowledge across all of Westeros that Rhaenyra's half-brother Aegon II sacrificed her to Sunfire, the family dragon. There is, however, more to the story than that. It starts in King's Landing, all through the Dance of the Dragons, after Rhaenyra successfully takes control of the city. Rhaenyra began her reign as a well-liked monarch, but as her paranoia worsened, the ordinary people began to rebel against her rule. Almost immediately, Rhaenyra kidnaps Alicent Hightower and Aegon's wife Helaena as captives and moves inside the Red Keep. After around 6 months, riots broke out across the city, caused by the death of Helaena. Rhaenyra was left with no alternative but to depart with her son Aegon the Younger, as they had no other option. Rhaenyra was compelled to part with her crown to secure a spot aboard one of the ships that would take her to Dragonstone. Unfortunately for Rhaenyra, the trials she endured were not enough to break her. Instead, Alfred Bloom betrayed her, and she was sent to her brother Aegon II, who had assumed control of Dragonstone. After that, Aegon the Younger was wrenched from her arms and brought to the injured dragon Sunfire. Even though the beast had been damaged in the struggle with Meleys, it still had enough power to bathe the Black Queen in its fiery breath before eating her in 6 bites. Aegon the Younger witnessed Rhaenyra's death at the hands of the terrible Aegon II, and the fury of the dragon was permanently etched into the mind of the little lad. In point of fact, Aegon is frequently credited for slaying the final dragon, but that is an entirely different story for another time. When the little prince eventually inherited the throne, he refused to converse about dragons and detested the creatures for most of his life, earning him the nickname Dragonsbane. And that's all for now, folks. Did you like this video? Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, we love hearing from you, so let us know your favorite plot in the House of the Dragon in the comments section. Thanks for watching.